larvae in there. Now all these sealed ones, I'm guessing, sometimes they seal a dud.
Yes.
So if I can kind of choose an open one, I pick up my.
It's come out,
yeah, that's a worker that's been feeding it. They visit hugely often. So now, that is by far my favourite one.
Yeah.
So all the rest of the ones on here
You're going to take off.
are going.
And also, you bought yourself a bit more time than you haven't you?
Bought myself another day or so, but it's longer, it's bigger,
Yes.
it's got more going for it than sort of all the others that I've seen so far, and it's open.
When it hatches in, will the queen stay on this frame or will she go on?
She'll stick around for a day or so, but once she's first out, the bees don't really recognise her because she doesn't have the same scent as a queen that's mature. So for the first day or so, they don't really recognise her, so she has to kind of look after herself a bit.
Her periods, you see, she's not a new woman yet.
And then
Isn't that it, Ian?
It's the hormones.
it's all about how they kind of perceived by the bees.
And the bees have gone to those
Yeah.
cells that you've taken.
Precisely. They know that there's something, even though they're just queen cells, partly what they're doing is they're robbing back the royal jelly that's in them. Because it's,
Really? And is that why you put it there?
for what as part of it, and just to push them out of the way. Very little on there, a few drones, and this is the concern with the previous queen, that we were getting too much drone all the way around. So we've got plenty of pollens, so they're not going to go hungry. What we've hoped would happen has happened, that they've raised queen cells. There's some sealed honey there. There's some unsealed nectar there. There's some pollen in the middle, and there's a bit of drone brood up there.
Are you going to mark that?
Yes, you'll have to mark. It's down there.
Yep,
Ian.
I will do.
Sorry, we're distracting you.
No,
here,
it's all right.
Ian.
Number 18.
So I'll take one out of there. Pop that
Do you
in
not
there.
need to put that in there? You need to have one in there because are you going to actually destroy
I'll
the
just
cell?
go
now?
back and
You're
do it
going back.
now.
Oh, great.
So that one. But yes, it's so you can see the larvae that was in there.
Yes.
Just double check over it. Check the other side as well, because I think there was. That one goes.
Just turn it back, Ian. This is not one on this side, is it?
Turn it.
That's not a deep one, is it?
Not really. No, that's just a
See,
drone.
It just looks really long, that one.
Yeah, see
Deep,
what you mean.
do you know?
Not quite got the right shape.
Okay.
Would you leave the cells you're taking off, Ian? Would you leave them in the hive for the bees to feed on?
No, I'll probably just take those away
Apart
and
from
sort
yes, you
of
kind of get the thing back
just
on
with a bit of
the corner.
with a bit of the wax, because sort of every little bit of wax you reclaim. Partly, if you leave wax around a colony, you can get wax moth, and wax moth kind of eat the old comb and can make a bit of a mess. So now we're out to honey.
Yes, that's a lot of honey.
Nice frame
there.
of honey, and which I'll do the next frame. It's a
We
bit
need to
easier.
be quick now, don't we? Because they're getting
Relatively, but there's less to see here, so it's kind of, I
honey
don't need to be
there.
so long. But you start to feel kind of, that's probably 2 pounds or so of honey
Really?
getting on that way.
That's good.
But
That's
a
a couple
full
of jars.
yeah, a full frame can weigh twice that much.
Take that in. Oh, you've got a frame there. You've got two. You've got one over your arm higher.
So you can imagine if you got that in one frame, you double the weight of that frame and then times it by 11.
Yeah, it's
That
not.
box is getting quite heavy.
So is this bee here eating it?
Yes, quite probably. I mean, what you see sometimes underneath is where you see the little bits of wax where they've uncapped it. But that's their stores. At the moment, they shouldn't really need the stores too much, but you always want them to have something in reserve. That's
When
their...
they realise they've got a queen, once she's hatched and they
Thank you.
realise there is a queen there, do they get quite excited with the colony gets?
They'll start to recognise her as the pheromones develop. After a couple of days, as she's getting mature, they'll start to harass her because they want her to go out and mate. So they'll stop feeding her and they'll start pushing her out the front door, literally pushing her out the front door. And she'll go off and mate.
Oh, sorry.
She often mates with a dozen or more drones. It can be quite a lot more than that on a couple of mating flights. She'll come back. It can take a few days, up to a week for her to start laying. So now, if she hatches, this one hatches out in about a week. we could be waiting till the back end of June before we've got a new laying queen in here. Hopefully it'll be quicker, but if it took
Back
that
in
long,
June, I thought, how many days does it take?
it'll take another week before she hatches out,
Yeah,
but then
5
5
days.
days before she's mature, and then before she's mated, depending on the weather, it can take. She's got to mate within her first 3.5 weeks or so of life. Otherwise, she goes stale, and she can't she can't properly sort of be mated after that. So there's a window, and once she's mated in those early days,
Did you take this last one out, Gina? Did you not?
I didn't. Yeah, I had a quick look, but there's nothing there much to see.
That's fine.
So we've got a good queen cell there, and I'm just going to check that pin is pretty much lined up with it.
Oh, that is where she
Are you
is.
going to take the cells off the other one where
The
you've
other
got
ones I need to
pins
go
and
back and
that?
take out. So I'm just double checking, even though I think I've taken them out of this one, because I'm yakking as well as doing. Just make sure I haven't missed.
Bees. How many bees is in the other one?
No. This one, and the danger would have been that this hive, it's not tiny, but the danger is that this hive wouldn't really have gotten any stronger. So by getting into autumn time, would it have had the legs to make it through winter? To be honest,
Because
I
with no
don't
more eggs
think it
being
would.
laid, there's a finite number of bees that can appear.
And the queen is liable to decline more. So we've got one there, I think we had one the other
I
side.
don't know how you knew that was a queen.
Because I've been
Because
doing it
these,
for a while.
yeah, because these ones look very
It's
long.
because, when I flip over
It's
the
the
other side,
curvature, isn't it?
now that one's maybe a bit more
Oh,
obvious.
that one's very. Oh no, that's
That's
not.
again drone, but
Drones.
that's a
yeah,
queen
it's a
cell.
peanutty shape,
And
yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Yeah,
now
it's
often the
poor.
one I've left is more hanging
Oh, much,
vertically.
yeah.
This one has started with an egg in a cell, and then they've extended it
It's like a
down.
manatee's nose, isn't it?
Yeah. Now a proper queen cell should just hang vertically, but because I took the queen out,
Yeah.
they were thinking about raising a new queen, but they hadn't quite got there. So these are emergency queen cells, and they've got that slightly distinctive shape. So with that one out as well,
Take the pin out.
take the pin out, and I'll put the pin. It's always useful to have a few pins stuck in your hive for when you sort of need one.
If when the queen hatches and
Yeah.
she's established, this could go back to being a nice little successful
Hopefully,
hive.
hopefully doing it this time of the year means that even if the queen doesn't hatch out for a month, we've got so she'll have July and August still, and hopefully part of September. And new queens can take off like rockets. They can be incredibly prolific. So I'm gambling that, given the old queen probably wouldn't get the colony through winter, but a new queen, I can't guarantee it. But it's probably got a better chance than sort of hanging on to something that I know's got a bit of a problem. So again, nothing out there, and we're out of the brood patch, so there'll be nothing beyond there.
Will she always return to the hive where she was raised?
She should do, bar being eaten by sparrows or whatever else on the way while she's out on a mating flight, which you can never rule out. And that's a pain, because sometimes you can do everything right, and she turns out as sort of
I think
starling.
the bees are telling you you're taking that food away.
Yeah. So I could use a bit of smoke at that point just to get them off, but they're not being too mean. So with that, and that bit of wax down there. I'll still come stuff in behind just so.
Yeah, I'm just.
So I just put it in my box a bit, and then I'll melt that down and either make candles with it or make wax wraps with it, or sell it back and to suppliers and get the new wax foundation that the frames are on at a discounted price for selling them wax.
Excellent.
So now we've done the brood box. Bit of smoke. The smoke is nearly going out now. But it's just about enough. Just slide that on. Now I'm just going to go over